You know that feeling, right? You have an amazing, productive morning, you're just on fire. And then you eat lunch. And your brain just shuts down. You're staring at the screen, but nothing's going in. Well, today we're going to get into the real biology of why that happens. And I'll give you a hint. It has absolutely nothing to do with being lazy. So let's just get this out of the way right from the start. That feeling of your focus completely falling off a cliff, that is not a sign of mental weakness. It's not a failure of willpower. It is a biological event, a totally predictable chemical reaction happening inside your body. So let's drop the self-blame right now.
I mean, really think about it for a second. One moment you are crushing your to-do list, you feel brilliant, and then seemingly out of nowhere, you can barely string a sentence together. Everything feels foggy. You're distracted, maybe even a little grumpy. It is so frustrating. But what is actually going on?
The real culprit isn't you being lazy. It's this. That whole roller coaster of being super focused and then suddenly crashing is almost always driven by what's happening with your blood sugar, or, to be more specific, your glucose levels.
Okay, so let's break down what's really happening inside your brain when that crash hits. Welcome to Section 1, the problem. Your brain on a spike.
So first things first, you have to understand that your brain is an energy hog. Seriously, it's only about 2% of your body weight, but it burns through something like 20% of your body's total energy. And its favorite fuel, its only fuel really, is glucose. Just think of glucose as the high-octane gas for your brain's energy.
But here's the twist. Your brain doesn't like drama. It craves a steady, reliable supply of fuel. So when you eat something that sends a massive, fast rush of sugar into your bloodstream, you get this huge energy spike. And, well, you know the saying, what goes up must come down. And that's the whole problem right there.
So, let's define our terms. A glucose spike is that super fast increase in your blood sugar. Your body sees this and, kind of panicking, releases a flood of insulin to get all that sugar out of the blood. The only problem is, it often does its job a little too well. It overcorrects, making your blood sugar plummet. And just like that, your brain's fuel supply collapses.
And the result of that collapse is exactly how you feel in the afternoon. All of a sudden, you've got the attention span of a goldfish. You feel completely mentally drained, even if you haven't done much. And your working memory? Pfft, gone. That's that feeling when you walk into a room and have absolutely no idea why you're there.
And we can even pinpoint where this is happening. It's your prefrontal cortex. That's the bit right behind your forehead that handles all the important stuff like planning, decision-making, and focus. It is incredibly sensitive to its fuel supply. So during that crash, these critical brain networks are, for all intents and purposes, just losing power.
Okay, so that's the problem. It's a clear biological chain reaction. But, if we understand the problem, we can find the solution. So let's move on to Section 2, the stable thinking secret.
This quote from our source material really says it all. We have this idea that we need a sugar hit for a quick energy boost, but that's just a total misconception. Your brain isn't asking for a huge jolt, it's asking for consistency. A steady, even flow of fuel is the real secret to high-level thinking.
I mean, just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got spiky energy. It feels like excitement, sure, but it's followed by a quick crash and that foggy thinking we all want to avoid. But on the right, you've got stable energy. That feels like clarity. It leads to sustained focus, to calm, controlled thinking. I mean, which side of this chart do you want to live on?
This is the mantra to tattoo on your brain. When it comes to fueling your mind for focus, consistency will always beat intensity. A slow, steady burn is so much better than a bunch of little explosions and flameouts.
So let's make this real for you, right now. Just do a quick mental check-in. Think about the last thing you ate. In the hour after, did you feel clear, sustained focus? Or did you get that little burst of energy, and then maybe 30 minutes later completely hit a wall? Your answer tells you everything you need to know about your brain's fuel.
All right, so you get the theory. Now, how do we actually put this into practice? Let's get into your toolkit. A few super simple, actionable rules you can start using, like today.
Okay, there are 3 basic rules. Rule 1, never eat a sugar source alone. Pair it with fiber or protein. Think an apple with peanut butter. That slows down the sugar absorption. Rule 2, avoid liquid sugar, like sodas or sugary juices, when you really need to think. They are the fastest way to get a spike. And Rule 3, just remember, long focus requires slow fuel, not a fast hit from a candy bar.
So if you take away one simple phrase, let it be this: feed your focus slowly.
Think of your brain's energy like a campfire. You don't want to throw a bunch of paper on it for a big flash. You want to add logs, slowly, so it burns steadily all day long.
And this all brings us to the biggest, most important reframe of all. If you are struggling with focus, you need to stop blaming your discipline and start looking at your dinner plate.
Think of this as your new personal diagnostic tool. The next time your concentration feels all over the place, just tell yourself, okay, my blood sugar is probably on that same exact roller coaster. The feeling on the outside is just a mirror of what's happening on the inside.
And that leaves us with this final, powerful idea. This isn't about trying harder or forcing yourself to concentrate. It's about creating the right conditions for your brain to do its job. It's so simple. You fix the fuel first, and the focus will naturally follow.
So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Now that you understand the science, what foods have you noticed actually give you that awesome, stable, clear-headed focus? And, on the flip side, what's your personal #1 focus killer?
We'd love to hear about it. Share your biggest focus fuel and your biggest focus destroyer down in the comments. Seriously, your own experience can be a huge help to someone else who's trying to figure this all out. Thanks so much for tuning in.